All right. So Corinne's going to lead us today, but I just wanted to say happy June. We're in a new month and it's crazy because I thought I was well prepared, but if you want to schedule posts in Elevate Gym, I sent them literally on June 1st. So if you're wanting to post in the group, we're doing free for all posts. Kind of post whatever feels right to you, recipes, whatever it is. So if you want to join, let me know and we can add you into the rotation. But it's a new month, new goals, and Corinne's going to dive in with whole like it's summer. So what does this look like for our business? And I think this is the perfect time to hear this call. And go ahead.
One more announcement. I just saw something today, which I don't know if anyone else knows. You can buy a virtual summit ticket for $50 and it's good. Like all the trainings and stuff are good for 3 months after you purchase. So obviously we're not going this year, which is a bummer for all of us, but this is a great way for us to still utilize all the information they give you at Summit, because I was literally driving home today and I was like, man, I'm super bummed. Like I was listening to the wake up call that was 15 minutes long for some reason. The recording was, at least. And they were talking about Summit and she said something about a virtual summit. And I was like, oh, well, I'm going to be like on our beach trip. So like, I can't even do that, but it's available for 3 months afterwards. So it's $50. So I'm going to buy the ticket and I'm going to listen to the stuff because all the trainings are always so good. So if you didn't know that, now you do. Okay, so I listened to a Melanie Mitro podcast yesterday, which kind of like piggybacked off of what Bonnie said last week on the Slay Squad call, because they were talking about how June, July, and August are basically kind of like our holiday season of October, November, and December, right? It is a busy time. People are traveling, kids are at home from school. So like I feel like for all of us, all our kids aren't, well, Brittany, your kids are older, so your kids are home for the summer, but for like Abby, myself, Becky, I don't know with Bellamy, like how his school schedule works, like if he still like goes to like some sort of summer care. Kids are home. So like your schedule is just like not the same as it would be if they were at school and you'd have more time to work your business. This is mostly for those women that are not working at all and are fully doing body full time. And I was like, oh, that's really funny because I didn't think of like June, July, August as like a holiday time, but it is because there's like Memorial Day, 4th of July, and then August is like that's the busiest time of year that people travel because it's like last stitch vacations before you go back to school. And then that's like when kids are going back to school is like August, September. And people are always like, I'll just wait until the kids go back to school. Like there's always that excuse. Or I'll wait until after the holidays. It's the same thing with the summer, right? People like don't really want to start like a routine during the summer months for some reason, which like that's like my biggest like I don't know, motivation is the summer because I'm gonna be in my bathing suit. I'm gonna be like running around with the kids. Like I need to keep up with them. So I don't know, for myself, that's my biggest motivation. But anyways, she talks about how life is crazy and how summer months is basically when body partners tend to put their businesses on the back burner because say like you have a play date at the splash park or you're going on vacation and it's just like not at the top of your mind, or you're just like I'll get to it. And I was like, man, that resonates with me because like last weekend or 2 weekends ago I was at my lake house and I was like, I haven't done my newsletter, and like for some reason the app I use for my newsletter I could only utilize from like my computer, or else I have to like reset my password every time. So I like asked my mom one night, I was like putting Kieran to bed and I like he was sleeping and I busted it out real quick. And I was like, it literally took me 10 minutes. And I almost was just like, nah, I'm just not going to do it because I'm on vacation. But like, why? What is the difference? Like, I should utilize my time better during the week, which I should have. Usually I like get that stuff done before I go on vacation. So I don't have to worry about while I'm on vacation. But it is hard. Like, it is discipline. Like, you have to put in the work, and it's not saying like it's an all or none thing. And I feel like as a mom, we have that guilt of like, oh, we're not enjoying like the summertime with our kids because like we're doing our body business. But if you set aside, she said 90 minutes, which for me, like if I can get an hour a day, like I'm like, okay, that's great. Even 30 minutes, like that's why we have those 30-minute power hours, right? 90 minutes, you tell your family, like, I promise you, we'll go to the splash pad or we'll go to the park or we'll go do this when mommy is done with these 90 minutes of work. So it's like unintentional, uninterrupted. Your phone is on airplane mode. You are getting crap done. And then the rest of the day is for your family, for your kids, for your significant other, whoever, your friends. Because I feel like that's the biggest thing is like on the weekends, like I used to use this as an excuse. I'm like, I'm not going to work my business. Like it's the weekend. I don't need to. But I'm like, but were you really working during the week? Like this is the time when people are actually more likely to answer you because it's the weekend and they're not working. So you have to like shift that mindset a little bit. So June, July, and August are seasons where a lot of backsliding happens and where a lot of women and moms have that mom guilt that they feel like they shouldn't spend a lot of time in their business and they feel like they have to choose between their business and a fun summer. But it becomes a season where women take their foot off the gas and the business is put on that back burner. So we need to ride the momentum that we've been building all year into June, July, and August. Because if we take our foot off the back burner, or if we take our foot off the pedal now, we are going to downslide until September. Because at this point, and like I know it just started with June, and she talks about how we need to ride the momentum of June where we were working all year long. So we cannot stop working. Um, if you don't do that, your momentum is slowly going to just taper off, and the lack of work you do in June, and that you're going to become reactive in your business, and then you're going to freeze, and you're going to just like it's just not going to become first nature for you. Um, Hold on. I was like texting these notes. That's the problem. I listen while I'm driving. So then we start freezing and we don't adapt well to that. So the first thing to go is going to be the business. And then through the summer your income is just going to keep declining. So keep that in mind. So then we're going to try to gain transactions during July, which is a slower month, and people are less likely to commit, but you have to keep pushing. You have to keep planting those seeds because yes, I feel like Bonnie had said this too, is like maybe people I don't maybe it wasn't her. It might have been on the wake up call last week. Is like even if you're like not if you think like when you're working and people aren't signing up and joining right away, you're still talking, you're still making those connections and eventually you're planting the seeds. You are planting the seeds for down the road. And that doesn't mean you're not working. Like you are working. Just because someone isn't going to join doesn't mean you're not putting in that work. Um so we're less likely to commit during the June and July months. And then when August hits, that's the slowest month because people are back to school, back to fall sports and those last stitch vacations. So like you are going to have these excuses from people because June, July, August, it's summer. People don't want to commit to a fitness program. People don't want to join a group right now because they have vacations. That's an excuse because then they're going to be like, I'm going to wait till the kids go back to school. And then guess what? When the kids go back to school, they're going to be like, oh, it's just too busy right now because the kids are back at school. I'm like, no, but you said back in June that like, but when the kids go back to school, this is a perfect time. They're all excuses. And then it says, then September hits and the momentum is back because everyone's getting ready to get back into the routine and start something new. So this is kind of like a mid-year New Year's Day is what she talked about is September. So it's kind of like when we hit January and then September comes around, it's like another New Year's Day because people are like, oh, my kids are back at school. So like, I want to start something new like that. I don't know why September, I feel like is always a busy month for myself because that's when women are like, oh, I have time now. I'm like, you've always had the time. It's just that your kids aren't home. Um, so the things we choose to do June, July, and August and either set us up for a really healthy fourth quarter of 2024, or they're going to be or you're going to just be starting a cold engine come September because you didn't put the work in the summer because you think, going on vacation, you don't have to do the work. I'm not asking you guys to put in work the 7 days a week that you're on vacation, but like do an hour here. If you are traveling, you're in a car, perfect excuse to plug into your phone for 30 minutes. Get up earlier than your family. 20 minutes. I like just banged out an entire week of posts in 10 minutes. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to have enough time. 10 minutes. I was like, wow, I just did that in 10 minutes. That was so quick and easy. Like, that's why Body provides us those tools that we have to, so that we can be more time efficient with our income producing activities, right? So the thing is that again, we have to look at this as a holiday season, and we just need to provide the value to people about what we're doing. So she said, what are the things that we need to do right now? This is going to help save our business this summer. You can have a thriving business and be present with the people that you love, and you do not have to choose to be on summer mode. You can do both, but you can't wing it, because if you wing it, it's unplanned. It's just not going to go the way you want it to go, and you're not going to see that on the other side. You're not going to be getting those results that you are working towards, right? You're not going to be hitting those goals if you're just going to wing it. You need to come up with a plan. Um, so you still have to make decisions. There'll be a time where you have to choose going to the water park with your friends and their kids, or hitting that goal you want to work towards. I'm not saying you have to choose, but like, if you know you have plans at 2 o'clock, she talks about like getting everything done by 2 p.m., which she doesn't work. So like for me, 2 p.m., like I'm at work. But like if it's a Saturday and I know I want to like go to the zoo or something with my kids, I'm like, I need to get up earlier to get my workout in, to get some work done, like get my hardest tasks of the day out of the way early, because if I wait, I probably won't end up doing them, because I something else will come up, right? Life with children is unpredictable, and you never know how your day is going to be. And those who don't have children yet, that doesn't mean that something can't go wrong with your pets, a family member, other things. Life just happens. So if you are struggling when you are trying to get like the hardest tasks done in the day, like later on in the day, do them first thing, because you're more likely to do them then rather than later. Um, let's see. She talks about you can still be making memories with your kids and your families, but you can also reach those goals. You need to shift that mindset. You're going to be making memories with the family, and you're also going to be a finisher. You're going to still crush your goals, but you're still going to be making that time for your family. So I'm not saying like you need to be on your phone when you're with your kids and your family, because you don't. You do it when they're in bed. You do it when they're napping. You do it like you talk to your spouse or your significant other and be like, hey, like I need to do this for 30 minutes before we turn Netflix on. Like I need to get this done. Because that's something that's going to move you forward. Scrolling social media or watching or binge watching a show on Netflix, which we do like every night, is not going to help you reach those goals that you have set for yourself. So you need to sit down and set clear expectations and knowing what season you're in as a mom and as a business owner. Ask yourself, what season are you in? Where, like, do you have sporting events on the weekends? Do you work extra on the weekends? Do you have vacations planned? You need to, like, if you're a planner and a type A person, you're going to plan your weeks out, your days out. You could plan the minutes of the days out, like your month out, whatever you want to do to help yourself be successful. So, question number one is, how does my schedule need to change? So, and every day is not going to be the same. Every month isn't going to be the same. But if you are struggling and you're not getting traction and getting where you want to be, then something has to change. Your schedule has to change. So, like for myself on the weekends, I work out with my kids just because I like to sleep in a little bit longer. But maybe like I should get up at 6 instead of 6:30, because that's usually when they wake up, or if not earlier, and do some business activities and then do my workout, because on the weekends I don't care if my kids are with me when I'm working out. Even on the weekdays, maybe I need to get up a little bit earlier. 5 a.m. is already early enough for me, because I see like Abby is up before her family and she's putting in the work and she doesn't even work out right after. Like, you've totally shifted your schedule because of the season that you're in. You're like a perfect example. Becky is the same thing. Like, Becky sometimes works out in the morning, sometimes she works out at midday, but I know she's getting on power hours when she has the energy and she can put forth that towards her business. So you guys are perfect examples. Sorry for plugging you in there. So like I said, plan week to week, month to month, shift around your summer schedule, do the most important things first, before certain parts of your day. Like she talked about the 2 p.m. I don't know what happened at 2 p.m., but it must be like something happens at 2 p.m. Um, and how can you maximize your summer and your memories? So she talked about like making a summer bucket list. This is the part where I was like listening, but it wasn't really pertaining to your business. But it's fun to have a bucket list for your summer. You can also put bucket list ideas of your business on there. Like, oh, I want to hit Success Club 10 by the 10th of the month, or like something like that. I want to sign up to new partners by the 20th of the month. Like you can set yourself up each month too, just like a bucket list you would for the summer fun things, but also business fun things. We do not need to be glued to our business and building our network. Hold on, that is not what I said. Okay, she said 1 week at a time, write it down. A lot of times we have mom guilt because we think we need to be present 24/7 with our kids while they're awake. I struggle with that. And it is hard because if you work full time and you don't stay home with them, you only have certain amount of hours with them on the weekends. So yes, you want to spend the time with them, but you also like need to do those things that you need to do that fill your cup, right? So we need to not feel bad about them being glued to our hips while we are trying to build our business. Us building our business is giving the luxury of being able to create really cool memories with our kids, right? Or our families. I keep saying kids, and I'm sorry for those who don't have kids. Like, obviously, that's the season I'm in. But in general, like, you are bringing in income. That's allowing you to go on that vacation that you have planned, to have the wedding that you're having. I'm shouting out Morgan because she's getting married in a couple of weeks or days. Things like that are why we're doing this, right? Also, on top of like just being in the best shape of ourselves and helping other people. But we are going to be able to create cool memories. And it's okay to let your kids see you working and to tell your kids that, or your family, that you may have to wait an hour so that you can get your work in order to go to the park, go to the zoo, go to the mall, go do whatever you guys are going to do as a couple, go to dinner, lunch, whatever. It's okay to let them see that the discipline that you have so that you can live a full, exciting life. This is also good in general, is just to show them like you are working hard for something. You're working towards something. So you are showing them what discipline is so that when they are older, they understand like what work does and what discipline and consistency can do for them. I don't know. I thought that was a cool little plug, she said. So what you do now over the next 3 months will build the momentum that you've already been creating, and it's going to unravel, or it's going to unravel and undo all of the hard work you've been doing all year long. So if you guys have been pushing since January and right now you're like, I'm going to take my foot off the gas, you're undoing everything you've done. So the people that you've been reaching out to, the people that you've been talking to, the people that you are not following up with are joining somebody else. They are becoming a partner with somebody else because you have stopped working. You have stopped essentially like you just are just like, it's fine. I'm just going to wing it. If we want to create the business that we dream of, we can't sit around the next 3 months. So look at your calendar, ask yourself, how am I going to achieve these goals? And how do you show up and how you can show up as your best self? She said, or you're going to be the anxious mom, wife, partner, whatever, coworker that is always present, but is thinking about the work that you need to be doing instead of living a joyful summer. Discipline and mindset, and hold on. I hate when I talk text because it never makes sense. So you need to have the discipline and the mindset and the discipline and time management and discipline and scheduling and discipline and sticking to what you were going to do with all the hard things. Think about your mindset. Think about your work ethic. Are you allowing your family to be an excuse, or are you allowing them to be a reason of why you're pushing forward? Basically that's about it. So she's just saying like, we can't stop right now. Like June, like we have another amazing sale going on this month. This is a great opportunity for new people to join. I've been making lots of connections. I was hoping my new coach was going to be on tonight, but she said she was helping on, but she hasn't joined yet, but she said she's excited. This is a girl I met online. She lives in Hawaii, so the time difference is quite different. Um, she's been doing the sample workouts for a month now, loves them. So I'm excited. Don't know how I'm making all these connections. Like I've got 4 new customers. They all switched from an old coach to me, but I feel like because body has changed so much that a lot of people kind of like are in limbo. And this is the time for us to kind of bring them back in, reel them back in, and share the value and share how different body is and the mission statement that Carl has made this company to be now. And yes, summer is hard. We also want to go on vacations, but like we can't. I don't know. I just remember this as like I was on my honeymoon and I was working my business and someone like yelled at me like, "You're on your honeymoon. Like, why are you even working your business right now?" And I was like, literally sitting at the pool sending messages. Like, it's fine. Like, who cares? And it's like I'm doing this so that I can go enjoy myself later when we go do something. Like, we're literally doing nothing right now. So you have to like look at it like that. 30 minutes to an hour a day in the summer is going to is going to help me work towards those goals. So I know for myself as I try to be not, I am lazy when I go on vacations with the business because I'm like, I'm on vacation. I should be like, I'm taking time off. But like with body, you don't really have to do that. You can still kind of like, send a message here, talk in your wellness group. There's just a lot of things we can be doing that don't really take up a lot of our time. So we just need to use our time better. But that's basically it. Melanie Mitro is always very insightful. And I thought it was great that Bonnie had talked about this last week. So, and it was like totally like unrelated. And like, I don't know if Melanie did it because Bonnie had talked about it, but it kind of worked out perfectly. Anybody have anything while I take this sip of water?
So I think like go listen to her podcast. It's her newest one and you'll get her like I just like her vibe and how she says things and all that good stuff. But it really is just coming down to consistency, which we know is like what this business needs. I took some notes that really stuck out to me, but it's all about momentum. So say you're like, oh, it's too busy for summer or it's too busy here and there, and you decide you're going to do nothing. Oh, yeah? Well, at least just post on your story and show people your life and show them that you're still working out or drinking your water, even if you're not doing anything else like for that day, which is up to you, because that's going to build that momentum. That's going to still have them feeling close to you, relatable. And then maybe the next day it's like, oh, I'm going to make up for that, or I'm going to focus on the power of two follows, 2 invites, 2 new connections. Like that is the most simple thing ever if you're struggling in summer. Like if you don't have, we can send you the Google Doc or boards thing that is the power of 2. And it'll break down in slides what the 2 things to do. It's basically our business activity tracker. But if you do want to see growth in this business, if you kill that momentum, you feel like you're starting over, and no one wants that. You don't want to feel like you're starting over in this business. And I think that was my biggest takeaway. And the solution to not losing that momentum is making a plan, figuring out how it works for you. Are you committing to 5 days a week? Are you committing to 7 days a week, 3 days a week? What's your time spot? Even if you pick it right before you go to bed, it's just like your workouts. Pick it right before you go to bed. When am I going to do 30 minutes of work that next day? And it could look different for all of you. It could look different while you're on vacation, but I think if you're truly showing up with this as your lifestyle, then it like just happens. Like just share it with people, because if they see you working out while you're at the beach or feeling good after a vacation or a weekend away because of your habits, like that's huge. People want to see your real life. And the last thing that really connected with me, is she just kept saying discipline, which is your plan, and have discipline so you don't have to choose family or work. you can have both, and you just have to work for it. And I think that also comes down to what your vision is, what your goals are. Like, what do you want from this? And you have to remember that every day that you're showing up. There's a lot of times where I'm just like, I'm too tired, but I get up anyway and sip my coffee and I say, now or never, because I know what I want. So, what do you want? And it could look different for each of us. It's so possible to do a lot in this business with like 30 minutes or 90 minutes or whatever you have. And I just don't want you to say, I can't do it all, so I'm not going to do any of it. The one quote, then I'll be quiet. 1 hour of non-distracted time to pour into you or your business is more effective than spending 100% of the time with your kids trying to be present when you're constantly thinking of other things. So, like, for example, if you are sitting here all day long on summer, maybe it's a vacation, maybe it's just a day home with your kids, maybe it's at work and you're constantly like, oh crap, I should be doing that. Oh crap, I should be doing that. You're not really present in the moment and enjoying it anyway. So why don't you set a time slot and say, I am going to do this and take 30 minutes to do this at this time. And then your brain is cleared and you're actually able to enjoy life and feel the joy and be present in the moment. And yes, maybe you lost 30 minutes or an hour or whatever, but like you're gaining all the rest of the day because you actually did the thing you promised yourself you wanted to do. And that stood out to me as well. Yeah, or come to my house and turn up. Jesse got to see how I set a million alarms to remind my brain to do something. It just goes off and it's like, oh, yeah, that's how I do it. And I literally do that. And it sounds ridiculous, but if I get distracted and I lose track of time, I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to call this person. I need to check in with this person. Like, and I snooze it until I do it. And that really makes everyone really happy.
I do that same thing, Abby. That's what I do. I have to like set an alarm to do it. And then I have to set an alarm like when it's supposed to be done. And then I give myself like a 5-minute leeway until like that way it gives me time to like clean up from what I'm doing. That's what I have to do. Even like when it comes to bedtime routine stuff, because I will sit on the couch. I'll look at speaking of, that was my alarm for reading that just went off that hubby's in the bedroom, in the kids' room doing right now. So yes, I have to have like,
check. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's insane because if not, I would literally get up in the morning at 5 a.m., go sit down on the couch. I did that, what was it, Saturday or something like that? I got up, went downstairs, had every intention to just like get my workout done. I sat for like an hour and a half and procrastinated because I don't set alarms on the weekends. And yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Weekends, I'll set an alarm. Like if I know we have to do something, I'll set an alarm to get up. And then I set an alarm that says start getting ready for workout. And then I set an alarm that says go. So I don't procrastinate and like then I can't work out or something. And I do that stuff for my business too, but it works. You almost just annoy the crap out of yourself. So you do it.
I'm like 5 a.m. and then 5:30 to work out. But I'm like, if I can start it early, then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of myself because I pushed play before my alarm went off. Like I get so excited about it. Yeah. And then I'm like, sweet, that gives me like 5 extra minutes to take a shower before I have to get the kids up in the morning. So I'm like, I might actually get a chance to do something other than like butt pits in every other crevice that's needed because I pushed play earlier than planned. So I was like, yes.
Yeah.
It's the funniest things when you get excited over it because you're like, when you're a mom, you don't have that kind of time. So yeah.
Yeah. And now we just need to use that for all our business stuff too. And I do that to a different degree, but it does help. And if you just write things on paper and then you like go and sit down and your paper's not in front of you, that's why I set my alarms, because my paper's not always. But yes, Jessie, well, her husband loved turning off my alarms when my watch died because I couldn't do it.
And she does get the stuff done. I witnessed it all. Unless we talk about it and then she doesn't set an alarm and then we forget about it. So alarms are key.
Are we, what are we doing? Are we done? Like everyone just stop talking. Does that mean, Becky, do you have anything? You're very quiet tonight.
Taking advantage of not leading the call. But
Just being
I
quiet.
mean, yeah, I'm just observing. I'm being
Oh.
a student, a listener, but I have thoughts.
Okay, after you're done with your thoughts, I have to share this and you're gonna love this.
Okay. Well, my only thoughts are really from like last week's call. Something that's really been helping me is the mindset of treating your business like your workouts. Like that the business doesn't happen overnight and you don't do a workout expecting to have six-pack abs and all of your workout goals, but you show up for your workout knowing that the consistency will pay off. And so I've been really using that mindset with the business activities and squeezing things in during this time when I just want it to be summer and I really could just spend all my free time in the pool. But and then yeah, again, the power hours really help me because that's my allotted time. Like this morning I hopped on the 9 a.m. power hour and then I hopped on the 1 p.m. power hour, and I had sessions at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, so back to back right after, but those were my time slots. And then I felt like this evening I can just do whatever because I got my time in for work. So yeah, the power hours really help, and they do have evening ones. So even if you just have to allot that time and weekends, do it. And then like Abby said, the Power 30 is awesome.
Speaking of mindset, what happened to Monday Fire? Did anyone notice it's hasn't been there the past 2 weeks? And there's other
Yes,
videos.
they had an announcement in your coach office if you've been in there recently, Jesse.
Hey,
But
Abby and I both talked about it and she didn't see it either. So
I sent her the announcement as well. They shifted that they are no longer doing a Monday Fire, but they're doing like the monthly, like you did last month's training. And I think that makes sense because he's doing the daily fire in growth day every day, and they have all their live trainings. And Brendan probably just realized it's a lot because I couldn't sustain it and didn't really know how he was doing it. But yeah, they're doing like other snippets of trainings like once a month instead of like the Monday Fire
so
weekly.
those will stay monthly then. Okay.
Correct.
Those other ones, I felt like we're only up for a couple days. I know it was because it was the end of the month.
Right. Yeah.
You think they would have left them up longer? Because those were so good. So like,
Yeah.
but like once they're gone, I didn't see them on like the next page. You know how there's like the just 2 tabs or whatever. So they're
Yeah.
just gone.
I feel like Brendan is shisty with his information. He wants people to buy it, not just
Yeah.
keep it.
Yeah, that's what Abby and I said. And it's like this was probably just to push people to growth day more.
Yeah.
So yeah. The one thing Corinne, when you were talking about how people are always like, I don't have time, like while they're on vacation or whatever. But like when we go on vacation, it's important for us to keep showing up, whether it just be like with our workouts or eating healthy or whatnot, to show them like, haha, yeah, you can. So whenever, if they ever do join, they were like, oh crap, like maybe I was wrong. So it's always good to keep showing up when we're on vacation too. Prove
What
them wrong.
I love is I know this one girl, she goes to the gym every day. I ask her every month to join Body, and she has done it in the past, but just not interested. But she's going to the beach, and I was like, oh, are you like gonna keep working out? And she's like, no, like I don't have access to a gym. I was like, oh, let me send you some sample workouts to do while you're on vacation. And she did like 3 of them, which she's like, oh, thank you. That's so helpful. And I was like, yeah, like you could do this all the time. You don't have to, like, I feel like when you go on vacation and you don't do your workouts, which it's just part of my routine. I talk about it all the time. It's like brushing my teeth. Like, would I just not brush my teeth on vacation? Because that's disgusting. Um, is that when you come back from like Jessie had said the same thing. Like she got back from like hanging out with Abby over the weekend, and she's like, it was nice that she didn't come home and felt like crap because they ate like crap. They didn't move their bodies. You know what I mean? Like she just felt like it was just like the same, just like with my friend who's also passionate about this. So it's like nice that she didn't have to come back on a Monday and been like, I have to start over. Like, and I'm going to feel crappy. Like, you know, when you don't work out for a few days, like, it's like you are going to be so super duper sore because you haven't been moving your body. So it's like, I always try to say that, like, are you sick and tired of starting over on a Monday? Because I feel like that's what happens. Like, and people do the same thing, like on the weekends. They're just like, I'm just not going to move my body. And yeah, like I work out Saturday and I do like active, like I walk on Sunday, but I'm like, it's nice that Monday morning I'm not waking up and I'm not starting over, and I'm not feeling crappy about what decisions I made over the weekend. And it's the same thing when you're literally on vacation, because like when we go on vacation, like I probably drink every day, which is very unusual for myself. I still eat my healthy things and I still move my body, so like when I come back and I'm back in the routine, like I'm not that far off, you know what I'm saying? So it is nice for us to show up, and people like, you get flack. Like people are going to give you flack for what you're doing. And it's, you know what? That's not to say anything about yourself. It's that they're like, dang, I wish I could do that. It's like, you can, you literally can. 20 minutes, like just get up and do it. And it's funny because like on vacation, like when I was at my lake house, my cousin's like, when are you working out? Like she already knew. She was like, let me get on this. She's like, don't record me, but she was in all of my videos, like off to the far right. And she was in my like selfies afterwards. And I was like, she's like, I'm not trying to be on your body thing. And I was like, yeah, your guys are funny. But it's funny because like everybody wants to do it, right? They just don't want to say yes. So don't make yourself feel bad if people are giving you crap, because my family is good about that. They're supportive, but they're also like, we're going to work out. And I'm like, he's working out too. Don't make fun of me. He's doing it too. That's all I have. So like we can conclude. I don't know where Abby went, but next week is the Slay Squad call. So make sure we all tune into that. Becky, I'll pick your brain later. I'm going to text you on the side about what I learned today about unbiased training, which was very interesting.
I'm excited for that.
All right. Thank you for sharing. Sorry, I'm feeding him, so I'm just like awkwardly putting my camera up. Overall, I hope you guys can take action this week by saying, okay, what are my goals? What's my vision? What is my plan to get there? And how can I make it work in this season of life? And if you want to share it with us and just let us know what it is and we can hold you accountable, I think that'd be awesome. But you guys are all doing amazing, and I don't want you guys to lose that momentum that you've already created. So just keep going, even if it looks different than it normally does, because it's going to be worth it. It's going to pay off, and people are watching you, even if they're not getting started now. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. I will talk to you later. See ya.